Hey there, I want to talk to you today about the extremely important difference between a Medicare supplement and a Medicare Advantage plan, and is discussed somewhat here in the Medicare in You book that you can get from Medicare.gov. So, back when my great granddad, Dr. McNeil, was delivering babies and giving penicillin shots over here in Hayhire, Georgia, none of this stuff was going on, right? It was a much simpler time. This day and age, this stuff's complicated and it's hard for people to get their head around and really understand it. So I'm here to help guide you through the basics so that you can understand the extremely important distinction between, in this case, a Medicare Advantage plan and a Medicare Supplement plan. So quick recap. We know Medicare has two parts, A and B. Part A covers your hospital stuff up to 80%, and then you're responsible for the 20%. And Part B covers your basic doctor stuff. And again, that covers up to 80%. You're responsible for the other 20%. There's two different kinds of plans that have been designed to cover that 20% for you. And that 20% is a big deal because, that 20% can break the bank. So we want to have something in place. I mean, if you kept just Medicare by itself, you're opening yourself up to a huge liability because 20% of an open heart surgery or, something for an aneurysm or something like that would definitely kill your savings in most of our cases. And not to mention the ongoing treatment and prescription drugs and everything. So having an Advantage plan or a supplement plan in place at least mitigates that 20% risk. But these are not the same thing. One of these covers you differently than the other. Let me explain the difference. This is very, very important. So a Medicare Advantage plan, the basics are you have a network. So it's kind of like the policies you had in your working life often, where there's a particular network of doctors you have to go to, like an HMO or a PPO, and you typically have to stay within that network. If you don't stay within that network, then this plan is not going to cover you as well or at all. In fact, these are typically local or regional, right? Regional/local. So you got to stay within the network here. If you decide you want to go see some specialist off somewhere else, then this plan is typically not going to cover you. You would have to pay completely out of pocket or a lot out of pocket if it covered anything. In addition, an Advantage plan makes you get what's called prior authorization in many cases. That means if you wanted a stent, for example, and I just had that here recently, a woman wanted a stent. Doctor said, yep, you should have a stent. They took her down to the hospital. She got admitted. She got the tubes put in and the IV and everything. Hospital made one last call to get prior authorization to the Advantage plan that she was on. And the Advantage plan said, well, our rules are in order for a stent to be warranted, you have to have at least a 75% blockage. And the woman only had a 70% blockage. So the hospital said the insurance is not going to cover you. They pulled the plugs on her and sent her fanny home. So prior authorization is a big thing with these Advantage plans. Now listen, I also help people get these plans where necessary. I'm not bashing Medicare Advantage plans, but they have a place for certain people, certain situations in life, but it's just important to know the difference. Require prior authorization. And they won't be accepted, by a lot of specialists that are outside of your network typically. So those are some of the downsides, right? The upside is they include your drugs. So they give you a prescription drug plan as part of the package. They often give you dental as part of the package, right? That's nice. Hey, so prescription drugs, dental, sometimes other perks like, meal cards and things like that. And the final one, and a big one, is it's typically $0 to $50 per month. The $0 thing is big. A lot of seniors I deal with are on a fixed income, just about all of them are. And the attraction to having a health insurance policy, your Medicare policy, that's $0 a month, and it includes your prescription drugs, and it includes your dental. I mean, heck, that's zero is hard to beat, right? And at the same time, we always were told that there's never something for nothing. There's always a cost. In this case, the Advantage plans have what's called copays. So this plan's great if you don't ever have to go to the doctor or the hospital or whatever. If you're super healthy, then fine. But if you ever get to the point where you're not and you actually have to use the plan, the way they get back this $0 that you're paying per month, or the very cheap payment you're paying per month, is on the copays. So if you go to the the hospital rather, you're probably going to have to pay like $300 plus per night. So let's look at an example, right? I've got, here is a policy from right here in my local area. This one happens to be with Humana. Great company, offers good products, but these are the truthful basics of this plan. It says it right here on page 1. It says inpatient care. Inpatient care, you pay $390 a night. That's your copay. $390 a night. All these other copays are here. Next page shows more copays. So that's how they get their money back, right? The $0 that you're paying per month is fine and good, but if you have to actually go to the hospital, now let's say you stayed 5 nights, that's $300 a night for the first 5 nights. Let's say you had 5 nights you had to stay there. This one's $390. We just use $300. A lot of them are $300. 300 times 5 nights is $1,500. Do you have an extra $1,500 laying around to pay your copays for your nightly visits in the hospital? A lot of people don't. And it's the same with all these other copays and things. And so this plan's great until you actually have to use it. And the same with like outpatient, right? So if you have to go to get some kind of outpatient surgery, like a hip replacement or something, well, first you're going to need to get that prior authorization we talked about in many cases. They may ask you to do some other therapy and so forth before they're willing to give you the green light on getting the procedure. And once you do get the procedure, you're going to have to pay some outpatient copays. In this case, you got like $340, to start with. So the Advantage plan is a low-cost plan that covers the basics and can be fantastic for the right people. It doesn't require a health check, so it's very inexpensive, and that's something that is the final plus here, is no health check. And I'm going to circle that. So the Advantage plans, they'll take anybody off the street, basically. And no worries with what your previous history is. And they'll give it to you cheap. But there is a potential other cost if you have to get in there and start using it. Now, Medicare Supplement plan, you should get this copy of your options choosing a Medicare policy. They encourage you to review your options annually and make it easy for you to shop your options because prices can go up, and even though you may have a supplement now, prices can go up, and it's time to shop like anything else, like any car insurance or home insurance. So, but here's what a supplement plan is and how it's different from the Advantage plan. Let me just clean this up a little bit here. So we got the basics of the Advantage plan. Now we'll talk about this supplement. Now, a supplement plan, here's the trade-off, okay? It does not require a network. So you could go anywhere in the country. There's some specialist in Denver, Colorado you want to go see, and they accept Medicare, then you can go if you have a Medicare supplement plan. So, no network. You don't have to get permission. If you and your doctor say you want to have the treatment, then boom, you get the treatment. That's it. There is no prior authorization required. If you go to the hospital, then you don't have a nightly copay. So that $300 or $390, and this one I'm just looking at here, per night that you would have to pay with an Advantage plan, zero right here. $0 copay. If you go to the doctor, $50 or so potentially on some Advantage plans per visit, or even if it's 20. I mean, with a supplement, $0 copay in almost every instance. Couple of exceptions, but $20 at the most if you had a copay. Supplements are going to pay the bills for you. The trade-off is you're going to pay them a monthly payment. So it's not going to be any of the $0 business per month. You are going to have to spend, probably $80 plus. So you'll have a monthly payment of $80 plus per month. So $80 a month plus, but that gets you a much more flexible plan. You can go anywhere. You don't need prior authorization. You don't have copays. You know what you're paying every month. It's that. And it doesn't matter what happens over here. You're not gonna have to pay hardly anything out of pocket if you have to use the plan. So the other caveat here is that health check required. So when I say health check, I just mean they have underwriting questions typically. Now, when you're turning 65, you've got a special 7-month window where you get what's basically like a diplomatic immunity. You don't have to answer any health questions, and you can get any of these Medicare supplement plans that you want without having to health qualify. It's amazing. You can only do that once in your life during that 7-month special window. So many people don't realize that. They don't take advantage of that window. They wind up in an Advantage plan. Something happens to them medically, and then they find out they've got to pay all these copays. They decide, I don't like this. I want to be in one of these plans, but now they can't health qualify. They're stuck. They can't get back over from here. So it's extremely important, and it's frustrating to me that people don't understand this and don't take the time, and that there's not more education around it, honestly. I think it's darn near malfeasance that more education isn't done in this area. But that's why I'm doing it right now. You get this particular window. If you miss the window, no big deal. You just have to health qualify. Health check required via these underwriting questions. They'll look at your medical history, and then they'll determine whether or not you qualify. If you do, then your monthly payment will be fixed for a while, but as you grow in age, that monthly payment will grow some over time. And so that's the cost of having, Cadillac type coverage that gives you no network and, more flexibility. So that is the basic difference. The last final difference is where over here, this one included a prescription drug plan and dental and so forth. This doesn't. A supplement plan says, hey, here's the deal. Here's what I'm going to give you. The absolute best health insurance on the planet. That's what I'm going to give you. You're on your own on your dental, okay? We just give you the absolute best health coverage you can get. But we ain't giving you no dental. You can go find your dental somewhere else. That's a standalone plan. Same with your prescription drugs. So dental and prescription not included. So, prescription drug plans are pretty inexpensive generally, you know. So, dental plans, same deal. You know, my average dental plan for my folks is like $35 a month. So, you are going to pay separately for those, but getting those included over here, but giving up all of this, is it worth it? For some people, it is. For some people, having a $0 a month payment that includes dental and prescription, they're like, well, I don't care about a network. I don't care about prior authorization. I just care about keeping my monthly payment low. And you know, if something happens and the copays come up, then I'll deal with that then. But they get attracted to that very low monthly payment that covers all of the things. This is all separate. It's a la carte, right? Medicare supplement, dental, if you want dental, and prescription drug, and everyone's going to want that. You know, so a lot of the prescription drug plans I'm dealing with out there right now are like $20 a month. So that is the main difference between a Medicare Advantage plan and a Medicare Supplement plan. I get a lot of people that come to me and they want to go over from a Advantage plan to a supplement plan, but they can no longer health qualify. And so that made me want to make this video because it's heartbreaking for me. I see people suffering. They want to get more options and they don't want to have to pay this out of pocket, but they chose that route and now they're stuck with it, at least for a while. So this is the basics. It's extremely important you understand the difference. I help people know what's available for them in their market in 23 states, including right here in my own backyard in South Georgia. So I would love to speak with you and help you know what your options are and help guide you into the best educated decision you can make. You can reach out to me on my personal line, which is 229-740-6262, which I'll also put here in the message. So thanks for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. All right.